have taught them correctly, or if they have registered what you've taught them correctly, because sometimes we teach, they don't register. But, now they understand that now, it's their turn for adulthood, and they get to put into practice what you have taught them, or if they didn't like what you taught them, they get to put into practice what they think is going to look good on their lives. And I can tell you, they'll probably come back to some of the things that you've taught them before it's over. But some people do it better than what we taught, and that's always a plus too, when they can do it better. But guys, you seize these windows of opportunity that you have in this probably 2.5 months left here, maybe, 3 months. But you seize those moments and make those memories with these kids. You at least offer to have a night at your home. And can I just say this, and I know we're talking to a Christian audience here for the most part, but I'm just going to say this because I've been in the court reporting field, and I know that it happens, and I've been a pastor's wife, and I know it happens, where even Christian homes have the friends over and open it up for alcohol. Can I warn you not to do that? Just don't do that for lots of reasons. But most of all, it's not God-honoring to introduce that to your kids. It's just not. So I would encourage you not to let that be, part of your game plan, all right? But you do, absolutely. Have them over and let them make some memories and sit around a campfire and tell stories and all that. But you be responsible. You be a responsible adult when you do, because you're modeling for them. All right? Enough said about that. And I want to remind you that you still have just this last hour today from 4 to 5 to call Patty, 423-3122. If you still would like, like at the last minute you've said, I think I can make this lunch and learn tomorrow, Joyce. So you make sure that you call Patty, because if you're not registered, you don't have the opportunity to win those Derby dinner tickets nor the Holiday World tickets. All right. So those of you who are there, present, yes, and who have registered, we'll put your name in the hat and we'll be drawing for those gifts tomorrow. A live show right there at Highview Baptist Church, Valley Station. We'll be back after this short break for around 4 o'clock of the Just As Joy Show. Don't go away.
The Spirit, 94.7 WFIA FM New Albany, Louisville, is a service of Salem Media Group, online at WFIAFM.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake asking city residents to be patient, allow the entire process to come to a conclusion. The plea comes after a second police officer to be tried on charges in the arrest and subsequent death of Freddie Gray was acquitted. Courtroom observer Attorney J. Wendell Gordon says it seems to him that prosecutors just don't have the goods necessary to convict.
What I see is a tiny spectrum of light, but not much. I mean, to illuminate this case, it's going to just require a whole lot more evidence than what has been presented thus far.
A judge acquitted Officer Edward Nero in a bench trial earlier today. The Supreme Court has tossed out the death sentence of a black man in Georgia after finding that prosecutors had excluded blacks from his jury back in 1986.
What it means for Tim Foster is a new trial, that his jury was chosen in violation of his right to a non-discriminatory jury selection process, and he'd be entitled to a new trial before a fair jury.
Stephen Bright with the Southern Center for Human Rights. Still a ways to go before Election Day, but Washington Examiner chief political correspondent Byron York says that things seem to be trending well for the presumptive Republican presidential nominee.
These polls are big news. I believe it is the first time that Trump has been ahead of Clinton in head-to-head matchups in the Real Clear Politics average of polls since they began compiling an average in July of last year, July of 15.
York on the Salem Radio Network. Today, Trump met with Republican Senator Bob Corker. Corker says he has no reason whatsoever to believe that he's being considered for the number 2 spot on a Trump ticket. Closing Wall Street stocks ending the day in the red. The Dow down 7 points, the NASDAQ off 4. More on these stories at townhall.com.
WFIA, The Spirit.
It's the 4 o'clock edition of Just Ask Joyce, and we are going to talk about 5 things every parent needs to know about their kids and, oh no, can we say this word? Yes, sex. 5 things that you need to know about your kids and sex. And I can tell you, parents, we have been nervous long enough about talking to our kids about this issue. And anxiety over having that talk means that we avoid it as long as we can, but no more. We cannot wait any longer because the world is crashing in on our kids, and it happens at very young ages. So you stick around. We're going to talk with Anne Marie Miller, who is the author of 5 Things Every Parent Needs to Know About Their Kids and Sex. After this short break, I want you to listen to these sponsors like Window World and About Face Spa and Salon, and make sure you patronize them, would you? Because they make this show possible for you. Now stick around for the show.
Weekday mornings at 10:30 on WFIA. Join local pastor Mark Jackson of Larchmont Church of God.
Don't think. Well, some people pray in the Spirit, but I just pray a general prayer. I just pray the typical prayer. I'm saying praying in the Spirit is the only acceptable way to pray. Those are the only prayers God answers.
Don't miss Pastor Mark Jackson, weekday mornings at 10:30 and again evenings at 10:30. Also on Sunday morning at 8:30. Only on WFIA, The Spirit.
It's like the rebirth the world feels during spring. The new life when there was none. And the hope of real growth and wonder. Like the kind of wonder of joining Alistair Begg on a magnificent Mediterranean journey.
Have you ever wondered what it would have been like to travel the dynamic missionary journeys of the Apostle Paul? To see for yourself the sights of the early Christian church. This is Alistair Begg, inviting you to join me this fall on the footsteps of the Apostles' Mediterranean cruise. Together, we'll encounter the sights of the early church like never before, with wonderful stops in Rome, Naples, Jerusalem, Athens, and more.
It's an unforgettable 15 days on 2 continents, sailing on one of the newest cruise ships, the beautiful Silhouette.
And we'll experience the magnificent Sistine Chapel, the historic Western Wall in Jerusalem, the beautiful Greek island of Santorini, and much more in luxurious accommodations over the pristine waters of the Mediterranean.
Get more information at WFIAFM.com and click on the Footsteps of the Apostles banner.
When tragedy strikes Kentucky law enforcement officers and their families, you can help by displaying a law enforcement memorial license plate on your car or donating online. Log on to the memorial website at klemf.org today. Proceeds go directly to the families of officers killed in the line of duty and provide college scholarships for their children. Sponsored by the Kentucky Law Enforcement Memorial Foundation and aired in cooperation with the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station. Visit and donate at klemf.org today.
Hey, Bill Bennett here to tell you about Augusta Precious Metals. What if you could store your IRA or your 401k where you can see, touch, and hold it in person in the form of physical gold and silver coins? I know I would, and you can't do that with stocks. But with the Augusta Gold and Silver IRA, you can transfer retirement savings into physical coins and store them where you can see them anytime. Free shipping, 0 management fees, and Augusta pays all upfront costs. Getting started is absolutely free. Rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, enjoys a 98% 5-star satisfaction rating with TrustLink.org. You can trust Augusta. Call toll-free 1-855-222-6993 now